Hi everybody, let's talk about a bit of a forewarning on Milestones and Banquet event. So this is a topic that's expanding on something that I put out about, it's coming up to 2 months, it will be 2 months by the end of the week, which is talking about how the impact of you getting more greater Banquet crystals as a result of the Banquet tickets acquisition between what was 2 months ago and what will be in 2 months from now, or month and a bit from now, will be important as to, well, do you want to invest a load of units into the milestones to get the last ones? Do you want to have a look at what happened last year versus this year? Or, sorry, last year versus the year before? Because there is a bit of a big difference in things that I'm not saying that nobody's talking about, but you need to keep a bit of an open mind as to, do you want to get all the milestones, do you not? And it's kind of, again, making people aware of this so it's not so much of a shocker, no pun intended, at the end of the year. So we're going to expand the topic. Go to the link not link in the description, but look at the description. There will be something in the link in the description because we are going to be sponsored for this particular video by Flexispot, which I'm going to run the ad for now. This video is brought to you by Flexispot. For the last 5 years, myself and Emily have used Flexispot desks. They're great. You can go up with them, you can go down, just by the click of the button. Flexispot have other things than desks, which you can check out in the link in the description, but we've really enjoyed using the different types of functionality you can have, first of all, with a desk, using devices, using a USB cable, you can plug it in and use it. So that's great, you can power devices, but also you can have settings as to heights that you want to have, whether or not you want to stand up or sit down. The desk that I'm using at the moment is a Flexispot desk that goes up, and then goes down. That's great, isn't it? Depending on your style preference and office theme, you can change your tabletop and as well the mechanism, the legs, to how you want to as well. Like recently for my desk and for Emily's desk, we installed a under desk drawer, which is helpful because we've got loads of knickknacks on our tabletops or desktops. So then putting them in that drawer frees up space, less dust. I like it. For more information on the Flexispot range, go and check out the link in the description. And thanks to Flexispot for providing for free this lovely desk, which I'm using, Em's desk, and also the drawers that they sent as well. Yeah, thanks to Flexispot for, well, I say sponsoring. It was a non-paid promotion, but I have to say that it's a paid promotion based on the tick thing because I got something sent for free. But I love their products and they've been supporting the channel for a long time. So shout out to Flexispot. Check them out in the link in the description. Right, to the point of the video. Last year, 2023, you had to put in 117,000 points. That particular investment to get to those particular points, including your free investment, was totaling about 9,000 units. This is kind of give or take some stuff. That's actually brought you to, with your free units you got, I think it's a total of 9,950 units total investment, which got you 119,000 points. That's a lot of unit investment. If we go back in time to 2022, we can see that we got in our free points. Sorry that these things are looking different, but you know, between how I posted stuff in 2023 versus 2022 and this year, I've tried to improve the way that I'm making these kind of guides and spreadsheets and stuff. So hopefully this year it's going to be a point of people go, that's really good, Rich. Anyway, we totaled 35,150 points, which was an estimate of 5,100 units that were that you'd have to spend to get the final milestone. The final milestone, for anybody curious, about 2 years ago was 100,000 100,000 points. And because it was 100,000 points in the solo, you got 1 5-star relic, 6-star awakening gem as you kind of went kind of like down. It wasn't particularly spicy or great. Why is this something I'm kind of like talking about now and kind of what's the need for it? Well, it's important for you to kind of say to yourself, how many units do I have for the Banquet event? You got a month and a bit. Now, a little bit longer, probably about 2 months and a bit, if you consider when the event ends. We know if you go into game when the event ends. I've talked about this death, you know this, that it's the 3rd of January based on what is 64 days from now, or whatever it is. It's probably 64 days when I release this video. 64 days from now is the end of the Banquet event, which is the 3rd of January. Okay, so it gives you time to save up about 9,000 units plus for this particular event. The biggest things and the biggest takeaways, as I said in the previous video, is the investment of the amount of points you get for this particular opening crystal. So buying a crystal, which if we go back to 2022, was that purchasing was 3,000 points, opening was 1,000 points. That is 4,000 points you get per GBC theoretically, unless you are opening them up. That all changed in 2023. For the aficionados and the people that know, is that it went down. You only then got, from in 2023, 2,800 Banquet Crystal points. 700 for the opening, 2,100 for the purchasing. Now again, why am I mentioning this particular element, or kind of talking about the Banquet event and Banquet Crystals again? Well, what if it changes? You cannot guarantee that Kabam are going to do the same as they did before. They may give less points per Banquet Crystal, Greater Banquet Crystal, and Banquet Crystal being open. They may give more points. So it's never really decided as to the unit spend versus Banquet Crystal points take home. And that's something I need to keep people understanding, that everything is subject to change. The same way that Kabam could say, hey, we're going to give you like a leg up in a realm event. We're not going to do it so much the next time. And the next time, which could be the next realm event, we're not going to help you out at all. Never rely on Kabam being consistent in the way that they kind of pattern stuff. That's not a disrespect to the developer. It's just saying, watch out for the patterns of play. And if we've known anything about Kabam over the last couple of years, is expect the unexpected. It's unlikely things are going to return back in the same way that they have done, because there might be some theoretical changes that Kabam might do. So 9,000 units may not actually be a key element to get you all the milestones. I'm sure a lot of people will be looking at the likes of these solo event rewards here, with 7-star Gifted Guardians Crystal, which we know has been confirmed that we're going to have those Champions, Purgatory, Medusa, some of the other ones that Kabam haven't mentioned yet are going to be within this particular crystal. How many of them will be dependent on how Kabam split the progression side of things. And Kabam gave an idea that they would be changing it to be a bit more friendly towards the higher end. So if you're a Valiant player, you may feel that this is a good event. If you're Paragon, you may feel this is a good event as well. It may shift up the dynamic, but we don't really know just yet. We're theorizing stuff. We've got to wait another month and a bit to kind of figure out what's happened with the Banquet event. But it's going to be important for players to know, is it worth me having 9,000 units to get some of this stuff, but better than this stuff? Yes, undoubtedly. Kabam this will be the good point here before we change. The change will be next year. I predict we'll have a new title in place. And if we have a new title in place, that will be stretching out what will be Paragon getting the less amount of things. And of course, Valiant and War. At the moment in time, anything that's going to be put into the solo event for this year, the Banquet event, is kind of at the point of everybody can grab at it and it's still relatively good for everybody, providing it's not kind of built in a progression, build for it. So this is good. This is a good time to grab as much as possible, because next time it may be very different. And the next progression title, people may be going, hey, this is not in the current meta of rewards that I'd like to expect from it. So the getting is going to be good for this Banquet event and this Banquet event only. Next year, of course, will be 2025. So I reckon will be very, very different. So yes, as I've mentioned, the point of this video is what I've just mentioned right there is, if you want to really invest into this particular event, will there be 117,000 points available, milestone points available per milestones that you grab, similar to previous years or similar to last year? There may be more. Kabam may encourage you to spend more units. And as I said, is 9,000 units going to be enough? No. Yes and no. Yes, I think for a baseline, but I think if you want more, and Kabam, I reckon, are going to be adding some more milestones. I think that this event is more than likely going to push higher than like 15 15k units for people and a baseline for milestones. Now, what could be some things that what's the final thing to kind of be wary of? It is indeed this, which I've got on screen right now. It's the trade-in for Sinister. The Sinister trade-in, depending on how many of the tickets you have, will equal to the number of Banquet crystals you can get. And theoretically, or not theoretically, we know it, you can get 12 for free. Of course, if you've been spending, you'll get a bit more. But if you are in the inclination of just getting the baseline, then say there's 12 Banquet crystals. If the point system is still the same, and as I've mentioned before, it's 8,400 points for anybody that's kind of consistently done that. What that means is people have been able to get ahead of the game. They're already ahead of you right now because they have the 8,400 points. If we compare that where that gets us on here, that will get them up to that particular point right there. So it might be a case points will stay exactly the same. So that's onto milestone 3 already. Okay, that's got a collective worth. If we divide that by, well, no, we can't divide that by because it's free crystals. So it's 8,400 off the total of what would be 117. So it's like if Kabam are doing the 117,000 milestone, which I think they'll be doing more of, money, we then take that away from we then take 8,400, which is there, which is 108,600. 108,600 divided by 2,800 for the points is 38.78. So let's say it's 39. So that's 39 greater Banquet crystals you'll have to get times the 300, 11,700 units. I personally think that might be what comes close, because then if you look at Kabam's freebies, what did they give out last year free for units? They gave out 275 there, 275 there, 600 there. So let's say that's 1,100. So again, we take 1,100. Well, it's not actually. It's a little bit more than that. But let's go with, you'll definitely need 10,600, give or take. Let's say 11,000. Let's call it quits on 11,000 units that you'll need for this particular event. So get farming now, ladies and gentlemen, because this may be a sneaky little extra you might need to consider. I don't know, maybe, I hope that I've got this wrong, but look, the evidence is still stacking up. Those 8,400 points from the Banquet crystals you get from tickets are going to be essential. Get as many as possible. Make sure you use that to minimize how much you take in. There could also be an accolades event that runs where you get extra GBCs, and of course the calendar, which of course will help out the situation. So it could be that it brings it down to 9,000. But I don't like operating on ifs, buts and maybes with this particular type of event. I'd love to say just get about 11,000 units, see what happens. If you got any extras, spend them or don't. Save them for the new year. Anyway, what are your thoughts on the matter? Have you say in the comments? And will you be going for any of the milestones? Will you not? And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.